clap on myself.
That button right there.
Yep.
This is the Rock Metal Podcast, episode 207 with Astray Valley.
Astray Valley.
Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Northlights by Astray Valley, who I've got on the show with me right now. I've got a new album called Uneth, which was released via Wormhole Death earlier this summer. Right now I'm being joined by several members of the band to share some stories about the music and share more info about what they've got going on. So guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely great to have you guys on. Let's go listen back to that track, Northlights.
Northlights.
Got back from Northlights. Killer track. I love a lot of the riffage. I mean, the whole album's got an insane amount of riffage, from the guitars and the groove and all that, and definitely some scary vocals. The first time I heard it, I was like, I'm scared. That's what I said to myself. I said, I'm scared. But very talented nonetheless. What is the story or inspiration behind Northlights?
Northlights is a mystic story from one character. It's like some giant of light. It's some abstract. I don't know if
Yeah, so basically the whole album is a story. So Northlights is a part of the story where the character meets a mystic creature, and the whole concept of the Northern Lights is related to the path that the character has to follow in order to reach the end of the story. So the whole album revolves around that. So all the lyrics and all the melodies are all connected in a way to try I don't know, to create this kind of story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for a rock metal nation who dug the track Northlights, we'll be excited to know that there is a music video for it. So if you go to today's show notes, that's www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. You can go ahead and check it out. So guys, if you wouldn't mind taking us through the production of the music video for Northlights.
Yeah, so the video was recorded by a company of some friends in Madrid. So it was a very interesting trip because the truck that we used to go there was like broken in the middle of the way. So we kind of had to improvise a little bit to find the lights and the place to create the mystic scenes and the colors that we wanted. So yeah, basically we had to improvise, but we had this idea of creating the colors that are related to what we think about when we listen to the song. And we wanted to transmit this kind of very aggressive and very dynamic scenes. So yeah, that's basically what we aimed. I believe that the company that recorded the music video were very professional, and that the result was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go listen to the next track, Constellations.
Constellations. Oh, sorry. Constellations.
Mm-hmm. back, Metal Nation. It's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. All right, come back from Constellations, another super sweet track, got a nice, glorious intro, and then just some killer riffage. I'm curious now, you mentioned that the whole album is a story, and so earlier, where the character had met this creature and was guided by the Northern Lights. Now, where are we at in the story with regard to the character when it comes to Constellations?
Yeah, so Constellations is before Northlights. It's earlier stage in the story. And it's a part of the story where the character is starting to get confused and get lost. And Constellations is a way of reminding you that it doesn't matter where you are. If you look up to the sky, you will see that everything is bigger. And in the end, there will always be a way to find the correct path and to find somebody that is there to help you. It is a very I don't know, like a hopeful part of the story. I mean, by the end of the story, everything starts to get darker and the lyrics start to be a little more realistic. But we wanted to explore into the mind of the character and find all the possible evolutions that he has in his mind. And yeah, and Constellation is actually the first song or the second song that we recorded for this album. And we wanted to do something different, not so aggressive, and try to find different melodies and how to play with them to create this kind of more melodic ambience for the album.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. Is since this track came fairly early in the development of 15 songs, did it have an impact on the way that the album came out? Yeah,
so we had a couple of very aggressive songs, and then when we recorded Constellations, we had like a new way to approach the story, a new way to play with the songs, because from there we started to do like more melodic parts, and in the end, the whole album is a mix between the more aggressive and the more melodic songs, and I believe that this balance is very important to make the story like more dynamic, because there are parts of the story that are darker and more aggressive, and other parts of the story that are softer. And having songs that are more quiet in contrast with the more aggressive songs create like a very contrasted point of view in some of the songs.
Yeah, because like sometimes maybe he's just eating a sandwich. The character is just eating a sandwich. And so you got to have like, it can't be aggressive unless the sandwich is still alive, right? But that's actually really, really fun stuff. And we can get more into the album in a little bit. But for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Constellations, I'm excited to know that there is a music video. So if you go to today's show notes, that's www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. You can go ahead and see the music video for Constellations. So guys, similar questions before. Why don't you take us through the production?
The production of this music video was very complicated. Like we had to find like very specific places here in Catalonia that were actually very open with a lot of forest, and the kind of colors that we tried to find for this music video were very complicated to get here, because here like everything is very sunny and the forest is not very dark, so we really had to drive far away from Barcelona to find this place. And then the other scenes were in a studio of Klaus' father, actually. And so we wanted to do something very abstract, like not to reflect the part of the story in a direct way. Like we wanted to do something that you wouldn't understand at first glance, but rather having to listen to the album and understand the story, and then try to find how every abstract part of the music video is related to the story. So that was very complicated, but I really liked the result.
Yeah. Does the character ever end up at Ibiza? Because I think, Because I think that'd be a fun one to do. Like after you do some like really scary vocals, like a really heavy riff, and then all of a sudden just
that would be very funny. But yeah, I believe we should like include some kind of funny funny part in the next story.
Cool. All right, now for Rock Metal Nation who dug the 2 tracks Northlights and Constellations will be super excited to know that there is a full album that they can pick up called Uneth. They came out earlier this summer via Wormhole Death Records. So guys, if you wouldn't mind, when we pick up this record, what should we expect?
So you should expect something that you're used to hear. Maybe there are some songs that have a genre similar to something that you are used to hear, but the whole album, if you listen to the whole album, every song has a different point of view. Every song has a different way of explaining things. So you kind of have to be open-minded. You have to like expect a lot of melodic songs, also a lot of aggressive songs, and maybe trying to understand the relationship between the songs is a very funny way to understand the story. So it is not a plain album. Maybe there are some songs that you like a lot, and then there are some other songs that you don't like because maybe from one song to another there's a very drastic change of genre. But that's something that seems very funny to us.
Yeah. All right. Now, the next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind is, how can we find out more about you? Is there a website that we should go to?
Yeah. So we have our Instagram on our Facebook page, and then we also have our website that is astrayvalley.com. And then you can find some information about us. You can buy our merch, buy our new album, and also contact us. So maybe if you want to send us a message or get in contact with us, we will reply to you. Yeah, so we're very I don't know, we're very open to talking with people, and it's very funny. So
yeah, I was actually surprised at how friendly Clau is.
Yeah. She's very funny as well.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastical. All right. Well, unless there's anything else that you guys wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing Astray Valley with Rock Metal Nation.
So, yeah, thank you very much for having us here. And, yeah, you can find more information about us on our social media, and we hope to see you on tour this year. So, yeah, thank you very much for having us, and very good job with your show.
Yeah, thank you.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Un placer.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Astray Valley. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.